Hey guys, it's Rita. Just on a minute early, just making sure everything's cool. Welcome, welcome. If you have a comment, if you would like to say something, please do so in the Facebook comments and I will answer it as best to my ability. And I'll be watching this video over time so I can look at the comments, even if you're looking at this and it's recorded. So welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about 3 reasons why laughing at what drives you crazy can make you unstoppable. This is one of my favorite subjects. So if you're a mom and you're looking for a different way to look at your life, this is a really great, powerful way to see yourself in your life. So the questions I have for you is, what if you could change your relationship to what's happening in your life? What if you could just change it? Another way of saying it is, instead of fighting with life, you embrace life. Fighting against the clock, racing against the clock, you're owning the clock, or you're having fun with the clock. What if you're more relaxed with life? What if you're more relaxed with your kids, yourself, your spouse? I've definitely experienced both, and it's much more fun to be more relaxed than to be stressed out all the time. What if you could laugh at life as it comes to you? Now, I understand that not everything's a laughing matter, but what if you could laugh at like the little stuff? How would you feel and how would you act if the stuff in your life, the everyday stuff, left you in stitches instead of crying on the floor? What would life be like? Just want you to contemplate that. And if you have any answers to that, you can put that in the comments. So I used to think that it was really impossible to laugh at things. And frankly, there was a part of me that thought, oh, this is inappropriate. I can't laugh at that. It's too serious. And I thought that having a smirk or a giggle or a laugh about something serious, frustrating or worrisome was not only disrespectful, but irresponsible and unproductive. So sort of like, giggling in church, like you're not supposed to do it, right? But I figured something out over the years. When you can look at life, the good, the bad, the ugly, from a different perspective, it helps 99.99% of the time. It helps way more than it hurts. So what do I mean, but from another perspective? It doesn't mean you have to agree with someone else that you don't agree with. It doesn't mean you have to love something that is not lovable to you. It just means opening up your lens to look at something a little differently, maybe even that it could be kind of hilarious or absurd. So this is what happens when you have another perspective, a funny one or just a more open one. It opens you up to different ideas and doors and resources. And for me, it really calmed me down so that I could use a different part of my brain. Because when you're in fight, flight, or freeze, I've been there a lot. You cannot find solutions to your problem. It's really hard to find solutions. So when you can find another perspective, a funny one, or just a different one, like, oh, I can see that point of view, you're using a different part of your brain. All right, let me just check if anyone is asking anything. Okay. Just say hello in the comments. Just say, you can hear me. Okay. So what I found was when I was super stressed out about stuff, super serious about everything, and I definitely spent a long time in my life being that way. I experienced being on edge, drained, definitely in scarcity, and very narrow-minded. I had one narrow point of view, and I couldn't see other people's point of view. And sometimes I would fight against their point of view, not like, oh, they're so right, but just Could you see this from a different perspective? Could you see it from, in other words, like you're standing on the ground and you're seeing things. How about getting on a chair and seeing from a different angle, metaphorically? It really opens you up. So when I could take a step back from what was going on and see things just a little bit differently, maybe even from a mildly amusing point of view, I saw different things in a relationship or an event or situation. I could find options that I didn't see before. My whole physiology would relax when I could find the funny, the hilarious, the absurd. I just functioned better, which is one of the reasons why people talk to other people to work out their problems, because they find a different perspective or they find understanding. And sometimes towards the end, you may even laugh at things. Man, it feels so much better in your body. And you find yourself being more hopeful. So I come from a family that uses humor a lot. So it is kind of part of the culture of my family. And it feels so good to find the funny that I realized that I could look for the amusing and the hilarious and the ridiculous and the funny and make jokes to myself mostly. And I would feel better. It's literally a physiological release when you laugh. And it could help me kind of muster through and connect with others more effectively as I laughed about myself. In the best, not to mock myself, but just to go, hey, you don't have all the answers. You don't have to be so serious. Not everything is life or death, right? Maybe this is a wrinkle and I'm treating it like it's the end of the world. And I would notice as I did that with myself, when I laughed at my silliness or my stubbornness or my narrow-mindedness, people related to me differently. They could relax too. Because I'm saying it's okay. We're here. We're safe. This is kind of amusing. And then we would see the options that maybe we didn't see before. So let me go over just 3 reasons why laughing at stuff helps. Okay. Are you ready? Any questions? No. Okay. Let's keep going. So, number 1, when you start laughing at things instead of treating everything so seriously, you start being in the driver's seat of your life. When you laugh at what drives you crazy, it drives you crazy. When you laugh at it, then you're driving. It's not driving you. In other words, it decouples the power that this thing has over you when you're able to laugh. Does that make sense? It decouples the power dynamic. So, for instance, if you're in a cafe, I saw this in a cafe. A woman had just ordered a matcha latte. Okay, she's with her little one, and she knocks it over. Now, at that point, she has a choice. She could get super upset, which is going to upset her kid. She could ignore it, or she could kind of chuckle and go, oops. And she decided to go, oops. I mean, she wasn't happy with it, but it wasn't the end of the world, and she kind of chuckled to herself. And guess what? She asked for some help, and they immediately cleaned her up, and they gave her a new matcha latte. Not that big a deal. She did not let spilling her matcha latte have a huge cloud over her. She didn't let it overpower her. She stayed in the driver's seat. She had a chuckle. She dealt with it. Oopsie, it happens. And what a great model for her kid. What a great model for that little one that was next to her, that she didn't get flustered. She didn't freak out. She dealt with it, and the remedy was found pretty quickly. Wouldn't we always want to be like that with our kids? Yes, this is not going to overpower us. We're going to have a little chuckle about it, or just not let it bother us. It doesn't have power over us, and it's fixable. Or we'll deal with it, or we'll navigate through it. Man, How would life be different if that was your attitude or my attitude or anyone's attitude in life? We're going to get through it. No big deal. We'll deal with it. That's very powerful. Okay. So the first one is you're in the driver's seat. It is this that you have the power. You're empowered when you can laugh at things. Second reason why laughing makes you unstoppable. You relax and think differently when you laugh and find the funny. You relax, your physiology relax. I want you to think about going into a comedy club. People go in there to relax and have a good time. Now, of course, some people are drinking, so they're already kind of relaxed with the alcohol, but they're going there to release stress. And when you laugh, your body relaxes, your systems work better, your breathing changes, your heart rate changes. You're just giving yourself beautiful chemicals in your body that help you relax, release the stress and tension. And that's why it feels so good to laugh. It's literally changing your physiology. You laugh and you release tension, and you're telling your body that you're safe. When you're laughing, it's not an emergency. And your body goes, oh, it's safe. It's safe to release this. And when you're safe, you can function better in your brain. So you're more likely to see solutions that work for you. Does that make sense? All right, any questions so far? Okay, no questions. All right, last reason why laughing makes you unstoppable. So when you're empowered and you're relaxed and confident, you are creative. You are creative. When women go into the stand-up comedy course that I teach, which is the One Funny Mother Stand Up for Moms course, the world looks different to them. It's many times they come in and maybe they have some things that, drove them crazy that day, or things that are niggling at them, or people that are difficult. And when they start to talk about it and really pick it apart, they start to see those little hilarious moments in the lady that yells in the grocery store, or the person that cuts them off, or the email they weren't expecting to get. They see the hilarity and the amusement, whether it's in their reaction or the other person's reaction, or the things that happened during that period of time, or the little silliness that happens in that situation. When you start to look for that, you start to say to your body, it's safe enough for me to look for the hilarity so that we can release all the tension. And you start laughing or going, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. This is hilarious. For me, sometimes it's bureaucracy around things, like how many forms I have to fill out, or why do I have to stand in line? That used to drive me crazy. And now I kind of go, all right, well, I'm going to put my safari hat on and see how this goes. It's a different attitude. You're more flexible. You're more open. You may even be more friendly. People treat you differently because you're kind of chuckling and going, oh, here we are in this crazy situation, just trying to get through it. People respond to you differently. And now what looked impossible, this is what women say all the time in this course, what looked impossible to them is now possible. What seemed like I could never joke about that, they find little funny moments. The things that used to irritate them are now just fodder. This is just material for my act, I realized. The things that used to irritate me, or the crazy person I met in the parking lot, whatever it is. And they realize that they've been stopping themselves from pursuing all sorts of situations because their fear or their seriousness overtook their sense of whimsy and hilarity and absurdity. And they realize that so many things that they were avoiding in their life were really just opportunities to find the funny. And maybe they're going to trip and they laugh and they get back up. So in other words, making a mistake or having a snafu or um, falling down metaphorically is not that big a deal anymore because it's pratfall. It's a whoopsie, it's not that big a deal, and they get up and dust themselves off and go, okay, life, I'm ready to embrace you even more. So in other words, you're replacing openness and hilarity and laughs and humor. You're replacing that. No, sorry. Now I'm making a mistake here. I'm going to laugh at the things that you're afraid of, that you tense up about, that you take very seriously. You're replacing that with the funny, with the amusement of life, with the whimsy of life. And when you can do that, you're so much more able to navigate and be flexible and still have boundaries and find and just enjoy life more. And when they go through the experience of performing their set, which a lot of people get really afraid about, they do that and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. What else can I be doing that I said I couldn't do before? So it's not just helping you relax and having you be in the driver's seat and release any fear and find solutions. The actual performing of what you create in the class helps you to see that there are so many things that maybe are back on the table for you to be able to do. So those are the three things. I hope this was helpful to you. I want you to write down or post which one of these three meant the most to you. Which do you feel helps you when you're laughing and looking at the funny in life? Maybe there's another one I didn't mention that you want to add. So if you want to explore what it's like to see your life from this lighter perspective where things are not always serious all the time, you have an opportunity. I am starting a One Funny Mother stand-up class for moms April 1st. It's all online, so you can be from pretty much anywhere. You just have to meet up at the same time on Zoom. It's a 6-week class. It's a lot of fun. It's transformative. It's creative. It's opening. It's relaxing. And you take this tool, you take this way of looking at life with you when you finish the course. And you even do a show for your friends and family. So we start Tuesday, April 1st. I'm going to put the link down below. If you have questions, just reach out. You can reach out to me and I'll be happy to answer them either through my website or through a DM for me. Like I say, we start April 1st and I'd love to hear from you. And I just want to say, look, being a professional mom can be really hard and sometimes it's going to suck. But it also can be one of the best adventures of your life. And it gets way better when you befriend and believe in yourself, when you have a supportive community, and when you can laugh at what drives you nuts, because you are worth it. So I will see you next week, and I hope you have a great week. And like I said before, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be putting that link in the comments section. So have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.